Well, this is gonna be fireworks between these two. Oh my word! Fine. Wow, what a pot this is going off.
Or just bet it all.
Huge.
Knows a lot of her calling range.
You can see why she is one of the most elite players on the planet.
What's up, poker fans? Welcome back to another Black Cash Poker video, where we bring you the best highlights and moments of the most entertaining poker events. Before getting into it, we would like to ask you guys to hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoy our videos, as your support is allowing us to continue posting videos consistently.
Tenner 10-3. Well, this is gonna be fireworks between these two. Kelly defends with 10-7. Mark open 10-9. Wow, it's gone check on this flop. Kelly cutting out. Well, pretty big bet. I like this sizing. Just under 2/3 pot. Again, Mark has a lot of showdown value when he checks back this flop, you would expect. So when she bets, she has to go bigger to target that. Little does she know, she's betting into the dominating 10-9. Given you bet the 5-2 so early, you'd expect him to bet. And he flops strong, and wow, that is a deathly card. The only saving grace for Mark is that the flush draw on the turn has completed. Kelly praying that's what Mark has made with top full house. And well, he makes a swift call. He's lost a lot less in this pot than he was supposed to. If he'd bet this flop, this would have been a very big pot. Kelly peeling from the big deuce 3 in the same suit, and what a flop we have here. 9, 4, 5, 2 hearts. Kelly opening his straight flush draw. Aaron with 2 overs and the flush draw, having opened from +1. And he decides to check back on this board. Oh my word! Have you seen a sicker hand? Straight flush versus nut flush. We are playing Texas Hold'em. These guys need to get themselves over to a cash game. Bad beats galore. 60k bet from Kelly into Aaron, who now holds the nuts, and well, he's bet 60. She's bet 16 to 65 on a card that should favour him. He does make the call. Deuce on at the end. Let's see how much acting goes on in this pot. Both cannot wait to get their chips in. He's going to size pretty big here, I think. She's targeting ace-X a lot. There we go, 175, just a shade under the pot. Now Aaron will do his best acting job before jamming. And when he gets snapped, he's going to assume he's won. There's no way he's thinking she has a straight flush. This is a sickening hand. He does move it all in. She gets it in.
Wow, you're a pro. That's it. I got it. What the fuck? I got it. I got it. He's like GG. He's like GG. See ya. Get out of here. No tea time.
That was fun.
Of course.
Well, we rejoin the feature table to find, wow, what a pot this is going off.
Oh, baby, Mattis.
So we're going to assume Gaston's opened and they both peeled, and it's probably gone check through, right, Ludo? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. Look at the size.
No, actually, it must be limped. Gaston's limped the button, because look at the pot size.
Yeah, you're right. He's limped, yeah.
And then it's all going to kick off on the turn.
I think Dave's just going to call.
Right, Dave's bet and bean raised. Yeah, it doesn't make much sense to re-raise, does it, Ludo?
Who knows? But I'm saying, like, you're supposed to just call. I think.
Let him
And then
value,
you're
let him
supposed to
value bet
obviously-
worse on the river.
No,
Let him bluff. Let him catch a draw if he's got some
if he's
combo
got like,
draws
if he's
raised.
got like 9-10 or something, like 9-5 of spades or something, like you're gonna have to let him bluff it on the river.
Time.
Well, she does re-raise.
But like this is gonna work out because Mattis has got an 8. But usually I'm saying like if Mattis has like 9-5 of spades here, he's gonna just bin it because he could be dead.
Right.
Well, not dead with 9-5 of spades, you know what I mean? But some
Sure.
sort of like straight draw, flush draw, whatever.
Now really with no option, but just to call here and see a river.
Yeah,
He's
he's
going to be a little bit concerned though, right?
Yeah, he's not happy about this. But he does beat some 8s.
Right.
He beats 8-9 suited and 8-10 suited.
Remember, she completed from the small versus a button limp. So
And there's only like, so ace-8 of diamonds, there's only like, what's the other combo that's left? We've got the 8 of hearts and the ace of hearts, and the ace of hearts is on the
well,
board. so
she limped from the small, so she would have.
yeah, she's alright, okay, I keep assuming that the button opened for some reason, but the button limped.
Yeah. 6 on the end.
So Mattis now only beats like 8-9 suited. Oh, sorry, 8-9 and 8-10. 8-9 offsuit, 8-10 offsuit or whatever. When it gets to here with the action, if you don't presume that she's got many bluffs here, if any at all.
On.
Wow, she rips in for over pot.
Oh, I'm loving that. She's pretty sure that he's got an 8, and she's
Yeah.
right, and is going to be able to fold an 8? That is the question. If he folds here, good fold. At least she didn't hear the dreaded snap call.
Yeah, you
'Cause
ripping
if
in with an underfull.
Well, I'm saying like obviously like 7's full here is a strong hand, but there are bigger full houses.
6,000,350.
If the snap call came in, most likely, obviously Mattis would have had 8-6 or something that got there against her on the river. Let's see if Mattis can find the fold, because it is over the pot. It's just over pot. So if you assume that there's no bluffs, I think you've probably got to fold. Good fold from Mattis.
Good fold.
Yeah, I think they got a bit too greedy there and shoved the whole Kabuna in.
Yeah.
The whole lot went in.
You can see in half an hour.
Nasty hand on the small blind. Nasty, nasty.
Just let this one go, Ludo.
Yeah, you got to just give it. I know you want to like be balanced and all this kind of stuff. That's incredible. Mattis is actually so strong here because Dave's got 2 unders.
2 unders to the pocket
Impossible.
fours.
You think that's impossible? Obviously it's not, but you know what I mean. Just a check with pocket fours.
Ace 7-3. Both players now have a pair.
Check.
Day checks. Mattis will bet his fours. Pretty vulnerable.
Yeah, Dave
And
now,
get called by worse, as we see here.
Dave now has to kind of call. Made a pair.
6 on the turn gives Mattis a gut shot towards go with his pair.
I wonder if Mattis will just do something here, like maybe he'll just keep it simple, just check. But I was thinking he might do something funky. Oh,
The deuce of spades on the end gives Dan 2 pair. Mattis.
maybe it's a good time for Mattis to bluff with this hand if Day makes it like 550k, 600k. Mattis has now got a very good hand to bluff with, even
Spade
though
and a 4.
yeah,
Well, spade and 2 folds, sorry. Lucky
Yeah.
she does bet 500k.
go for it, Mattis. Make it 2 million.
Blocks the straights. Has a spade. Can, of course, just fold as well, Ludo.
I don't think there's any bluffs here.
Five.
Does just let it go.
Is there a shot clock in play?
And I was about to say that you heard the dealer give a 5-second warning. Shot clock is now in play as we are in the money. She's going to raise it up this time. And gagging deep with King Jack of Hearts. Expect him just to flat here. And we see King Jack 9. What a flop for this blind on blind encounter. Kelly with bottom set, Gagan deep with top 2 pair. Fireworks are sure to occur.
Bet 375.
Kelly bets 375. Gagan with the option now, whether just flat call here and let her continue to bluff in his eyes. Or does he raise now? 2 spades on board. A lot of scary cards could kill some of his action here. He does make the call. Both players funking for a brick on the turn. 7 of spades may slow things down here. So I still expect Kelly to bet her set. Gagan deep. Or just flat call now, again with top 2. Kelly's gone small, 600,000. Interesting sizing. Gagan, of course, calls with that top 2 pair. Red 6 on the end. Oh, Kelly checks. I like to see him go with a big sizing here. She did bet twice. Wow, he's checked back. Incredible that he has not lost more chips in this pot. I think that's exactly what Kelly's thinking. How have I not won more here? Right position. This time King 10 of spades. Maxime quickly calling behind with his pocket 8. Kelly looks down at Queen 9 of hearts. Alright, so the first 3 seats have limped. Gagan deep, still away from the table. Mark, King 6 offsuit. Surely not Mark. Surely not. There we go. Diego with 10-7 suited in the small. He will complete. And Chanrasi with 4s in the big. Gets the check. Try and flop a set as we go. And surprisingly, 5-way to a flop here on our feature table. Kelly is going to bet her top pair. Well, he'll take one of those right now. An ace, of course, would give him Broadway. 7 of clubs should slow things down here. Need to play with a club. Can't imagine Kelly's going to fire again. She does check back. Sai gets a free look. Into 3 of spades on the end. I think most of his flush draws would have been combo draws on the flop, so he would have levered them. Well, he does find the bluff, 750, and oh, really, what does Kelly beat? Only hand like King 10. And well, she's reaching for the chips, but this is a really tough spot. Just trying to work out really limp with low clubs. A 7 of clubs on the turn makes this an easier call than, say, if it was the deuce of clubs, because now he can't have a hand like 7-8 of clubs. All the other club combos really flopped a straight draw to go with it, and so she does make the call. Well worked out to make that call with top pair. Again, the presumption in Kelly's mind must be that she'd expect Sai to be more aggressive on the flop with a combo draw. No, she's going to take a flop. King, deuce, deuce. Diego flops best here. This is a flop he's going to want to attack a lot as the 3-better pre, but this time he decides to check it back. And that is good night for him. Kelly turns 5s full, checks it once again. Is Diego now going to bet?
1 million.
1 million is the bet. She calls the 1 million. He may get away from this if she checks the river. Especially on a club. Queen of clubs it is. He does check back, and yet again, she's not really got full value in one of these spots.
5 full of deuces.
Folds around to Maria, who limps in with the 6-5 of hearts. Yop has the 4-3 of spades. Flop comes 7-5 deuce, a pair for Maria. Backdoor straight draws. Yop flops a flush draw and an open-ended straight draw. Blind versus blind battle with 150K in the pot. Maria bets 60K. You see that while she has the best hand, the percentages on the bottom left of your screen show us that Yop is actually the favorite here. Does call Maria's lead on the flop.
If Maria makes 2 pairs, she's going to be in a world of hurt.
She made 2 pair. She still looks good to me.
I take it back. It's a great card for Maria,
Yeah.
who's 5 is going for a little bit of value to protect against the draws out there, but wasn't probably particularly excited about getting the action. Significantly less likely that Yop had her beat on the flop.
Yop bets small on the turn. Maria calls.
And fades the world. Not a bad start to the day for Maria.
Not the best river card for Yop. I'll have to bluff at this one. Or shut it down, and Maria takes it right now. Uses a time extension.
I'm in an annoying spot. You don't want to show down the 4 high and lose to 8 high if she somehow has a missed straight draw. Could be an okay spot for a tiny bet that looks like a value
Yeah,
bet, and just
thinking you
hope that
could
you
get a
fold
deuce to
out worse
fold.
draws,
Yeah.
worse high cards.
Or just bet it
Instead,
all.
huge. Putting max pressure on Maria.
With the stone cold bluff, will it get through? Remember, Maria used 3 or 4 of her time extension cards earlier. Looks like she only has 2 left.
Instead of the tiny bet to try to get worse missed draws, he says, I'll just get pairs to fold too.
Her tournament life on the line.
Definitely a tough spot to be in, and blind versus blind, it always just feels harder to fold, even
Yeah.
a 5 here. Both ranges are wide open. Nice
She makes
call.
the call. The hero call with her tournament life on the line is the correct call. That's one way to get a double up.
If you guys would like to see more final table highlights from the biggest events in the world, make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications, as we do our best to provide highlights on a weekly basis. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the video.
So 540K. Jessica looks down at the ace-deuce of hearts in the big blind.
Sam, it's about 3.5x from the small blind. Pretty healthy raise. Jess will take advantage of being in position with a hand with a lot of potential and just make the call.
More than 1.2 million in this pot. Ace in the window. Comes ace, king, 7, 2 clubs. Jessica takes the lead.
Check.
Grafton checks. Knows a lot of her calling range includes aces and kings.
Yeah, she's not going to have a lot of weak hands when
Right.
she calls 3.5x.
Goes check, check. Turn is an 8.
And Sam is just going to shut down and hope that she has some of the smaller pairs in her range.
It's fine going check, check on this board. River card is a deuce. Aces and deuces now for Jessica Teusel.
Expect this to be a pretty tiny bet.
Bet 210. Call.
Very blocker light. Jessica calls. Jessica wins.
He's looking at that board thinking, if I started barreling on the flop, could I have ever made her fold this
Yeah.
hand? And then realizing that deuce on the river probably would have locked it
Yeah.
in for her calling.
Everyone else is such a baby.
Kempa opens with the king 10 out of the hijack. Bicknell makes the call on the big blind with the king queen of diamonds and flops a queen. Gut shot for Kempa. Reiner bets 45K.
Yeah, decision time. Typically, we see a lot of just check calls in this situation. However, I have noticed trends sort of shifting to where we have a hand like king queen on that texture. The check raise is incoming. Kristen elects to go with the sort of the bluff catch, conservative approach, check call. Let's see what develops. Jack 10 now gets there. Reiner having a 10 in his hand. Certainly a candidate to maybe consider two-barreling, although it looks pretty clear to me like Kristen has a queen. A lot of the time, certainly she does have a 9 some of the time. Could we elect to fire 2 shells to try and get a 9 to fold out? King of clubs, also kind of a fun card for Reiner if he wants to try and represent a backdoor flush draw. If we were to bet 2 shells here. Here we go.
The second
Sizable.
shell is for 115,000.
Again, designed to fold out a 9. Queen doesn't really love it, but I don't think we're going anywhere if we're Chrissy B here with King Queen.
She will check call again. Deuce of clubs on the river.
Here is that backdoor flush that has appeared, and now
Reiner does
will
have the
Reiner
king
ever
of clubs.
continue firing 3 shells to try and represent that sort of holding?
385,000 in the pot.
I'd love to see if he were to try and represent this thing, perhaps an overbet.
He's got 566K
There it is.
behind.
195.
Bignell does make the
Wonderful
call with the queens.
Chrissy B. She sniffs it out, sees through it. Wonderful pot there, Kristen Bicknell. You can see why she is one of the most elite players on the planet.
But she made a great attempt on that double 10 board, which would have worked a lot of the time.
If he doesn't have the pair, of course.
It's like I prefer when they stop with the antes when it's a heads-up match. Makes things a little easier.
They're kind of not necessary, it's true, because they're both invested in every pot anyway, that's true. But it's her turn to hit, and this is her style.
Shot for Jacob.
He had a big gut shot earlier that was hidden. That helped him knock out the third place finisher. And I would say it would be quite similar here. If he hits the 5 on the turn, he's going to probably get 3 streets.
Is he
right?
going to get to the turn? I mean,
Well, if she's going to check raise air, she should really be check raising when she's making these as well.
That's a really good point.
but that's not been her style.
We have
up
not
to
seen
now.
her. We have not seen her check raise with this kind of hand. You
No,
know,
no.
one pair ball.
She when she's got something she doesn't want to be bet off, especially out of position. This is how she's been playing it.
But she's induced, I'd say, 3 of the players at the final table she induced to hang themselves on total stone cold nutting.
She's like a siren on the rocks, isn't she?
She
I mean, this is
really
unbelievable.
Hear my song.
I'm not sure about this one. I think I would probably take my free card here if I was Jacob.
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's nothing wrong with was keeping up the pressure. She can't have like top pair every time, you know. What I mean?
It's really tough to check the river when you've barreled this turn, isn't it? I mean, you can't really respect.
You're just
yourself.
you're kind of building a pot, aren't you?
You know that feeling well. This is a man with experience in the 3-barrel bluffs.
If you're now flat call here, you're already starting to price up how much you can try and make this on the
Although there is probably no sweeter feeling in poker than the big 3rd barrel bluff that you really shouldn't be making and getting the 3rd barrel.
You know what?
He's
As
probably
far
hoping
as
for a
Maria's
6 or a 3.
concerned,
If he doesn't get the 5, 6 or 3, so he can just check behind. I think.
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's her approach, isn't it? This has been working for her all the way.
He's got there.
Oh
He's got
my
there. I
God.
think he'll get a few quid out of this as well.
Oh my God.
Yep. That's the 2nd time it's happened.
It ain't
This
even
is
fair.
how you do it.
It's not fair. But is she going to check call again? I mean, how big is he going to size it now?
He's going to go big.
Yeah, a bit more.
The problem is, I mean, you haven't been watching him all 2 days like the rest of us, Scally, but I think he would have made a big bet if that card doesn't come. I think he was setting himself up for a 3-barreler.
Yeah, I mean, he knows it works a lot of the time.
Jack Queen potentially. Yeah, would he bet that high with Queen King? I mean,
Yeah, probably not.
Well, he's very polarized.
Yeah. This is well.
there's no point showing a card now. Now she knows what he's
What she's done here, he's shown one card. What she's done here,
I don't know.
Unless she's thinking of trapping, it's one of those where
She's waited so long without 3-betting. It almost seems more, I don't know.
but she could catch a pretty disguised hand. And now she knows he's barreling a lot.
yeah, I guess she knows that she's going to get him to lay down a lot of cards hands that she's dominating. She does with playback, but she's got herself into a sticky situation here.
Well, I think she's going to be checking.
I've seen this before, and to be honest, I feel like this almost always plays out with Jacob winning. You know, you just heads up, you just cannot beat a trapper.
But she knows her ace is good a lot of the time, so fair play to her. This is the way she's playing.
Well, yeah, but if it's a guessing game, she's going to check, and it's tough, man.
No, it's not ideal, is it? It's not ideal. She's giving herself some very, very difficult decisions. But will Jacob continue facing this and the river bet? I mean, you don't connect with the flop very often with that. Wow, wow.
How long? I watched it, but I've been away from the poker so long. I can't remember either player's name.
Well, do you know what?
I don't know the name of the. I mean, I can't even. I'm so embarrassed.
I just call them all matey.
By the way, it makes more sense for her to play this way if she's prepared to make these calls that she's making here, because she's right.
Well,
She is right, you know. I know. I mean, you know, and how the hell does he bet again now? That's a blank on the river.
I think he's betting.
Well,
I don't know. Polarizing stuff he's done. Well, maybe. You know, if he does bet, he has to bet pot size.
He could
really.
put her on a flush draw, busted flush draw here. or
Yeah, but
something
then
along those
he's
lines.
hoping his key's good, right?
But he can't expect his king to be good here, so I think he has to bet this. So I think a bet of about 100,000.
Well, this
He's
is
got
a
to bet
start,
big.
yeah.
He's gotta-
100 million will do.
No, he's been betting pot size on the river with his good hands. He's got to, doesn't he? He's got to go 160 or so.
Do you really? If it's just a busted flush draw, we don't know that.
Wow. Well, you know, she's chosen to play it a certain way, and
Well, if she does find a call here, it would be the
it'll be very impressive. But
momentum will switch massively.
what was her plan on the turn? If she's not, I mean, it is a very big bet.
Oh, it was fun.
Meanwhile, Maria's facing her biggest and toughest decision of the whole tournament so far.
Honestly, I mean, she has.
She
I think
looks
she
like
wants
she's
to
done.
call, but you know,
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
got family home watch here.
Yeah, yeah.
It's one of those, if you call and you're wrong, if you fold and you're wrong, it's not a disaster. But if you call here with ace high and you're wrong,
Yeah.
and you're playing for $1 million, it's pretty
She
painful.
kind of looks like she's already being nostalgic about the chips, doesn't she? It's like she doesn't look like she's thinking that hard. It's like wishful. But you know, she's considering. I mean, you know, she decided on the turn. She was still good.
What I admire about her
Come on.
is that she put
Come on.
herself in a position. She knew she was putting herself in a position to have to make this decision. And, I mean, right or wrong, she was willing. This is how she's gotten to this point. There's 3 guys who have made ridiculous bluffs against her. And this is
She's calling.
This is her
She's
tournament.
calling.
This is her tournament.
I thought she'd given up.
Wow.
That's brilliant.
Nice
That's
call.
brilliant.
Nice call.
Wow.
And
Wow, wow.
He's going to hate seeing
Ace
the
high, baby. Beat that. Take that. Wow.
Ace high like a
Oh,
boss.
man.
Yeah,
Be a
she's
sign of
sitting up in her
confidence.
chair and she's feeling like she can really win this.
I mean, the
and,
body language looks
yeah.
very good for her. You know, like we've been watching her for 2 days, being very deliberate about all the decisions. And
can she play back on this board?
I mean, who can watch this and say that poker is not sport? You know, that you've got the switch.
a lot of people I can think of. Do you want me to start naming them? And how long have you got?
I don't.
The master of answering the rhetorical question.
Who can say these are not 2 athletes in the prime of their?
Oh, don't get him started again, for God's sake.
in the prime of their careers.
Wow.
It was like that whole thing when they had the. Sorry.
Listen, she knows that he continues on every flop, and she might find a check raise here. She's changed up her game. She hasn't got a strong enough hand to call down with. Oh, okay, it's a call. Wow.
Oh, my God.
Okay, well, how much better a card can she have hopes of seeing on the turn? Top pair now and the flush draw. Now she can go back into check call mode.
We'll see how quickly he checks here.
I mean, that was an out of position float with her. Don't make no mistake. She had nothing. She was planning something on the turn.
By the way, under the heading of Jacob.
Well, that's
takes
all
heart.
she could have been doing, Barney.
Yeah.
This takes heart.
Yeah. He doesn't switch off. I mean, I love the way he plays it. Her
It might not be heart. It might be stubbornness.
their styles are so well set up for a great heads-up match because they've got opposite styles, haven't they? And a lot of it is card dependent. But now, you know, I think she was planning to do a check raise on the turn, and now she can just call because she's hit kind of like the ultimate bingo card on the turn for her.
There's so many scare cards out there, Parg.
She may go for the raise.
I don't think she has to.
I would have thought so, but
think from her point of view, if she goes for the check raise, she doesn't give him the opportunity to lose his entire stack on the river.
This is a give up. I say he gives up this time, because you know, she called on that that 2-diamond board. You know, she called again on the turn when the diamond came. What does he think he's going to get her off on the river?
Look at the color of his ears right now, Barney. I think he's determined. He's committed to a strategy.
Well, for a start off, she could have a flush.
Yeah, but I actually I actually think he's
well,
kind
it fits the story.
I actually think it's very, very important to him to get a bluff.
Oh, he has to bet really big.
After getting a bluff called, I think there's something else at work here.
He's overbet the pot here. He's overbet the pot.
It doesn't really fit.
Well, and as you said, since the flush is there, the truth is that the 10 doesn't mean anything, because how could the man bet 160 million on hitting the 10
I was gonna say,
when there's 3 diamonds on
right?
board and she's a trapper?
I think there's absolutely no chance she's folding here.
No, I think she's calling.
I hope whether she calls or folds, I hope she doesn't do it. Okay, 1 minute. So I don't know what Jacob had for lunch, but we are going to find out at some point. I've seen people get put on that. I've seen people get put on.
Yes,
oh, well
yeah.
played.
Putting on the clock didn't help. That's. He didn't. She didn't think. I mean, he didn't think that she had the hand that strong. He thought he was getting her off ace high, and.
I mean, a lot of those don't realise that that's probably Barney's most significant contribution. I mean, every one of them was a classic.
What was your favorite one before we get into what may very well be the last hand of the tournament?
Mike McGee. He called him Mystic Mike. He can
now
with Jackarama. The crew Alexandra of poker can't string 2 passes together.
Oh, I'd forgotten that one. Yeah, that was all right.
Oh, yeah?
There you go. Well, 2 huge hands here.
All you can get is a swing and miss.
Well, she's a big favourite now. But it ain't over yet. There it is. £1 million. And doesn't she deserve it? I mean, she's played extraordinarily well.
And honestly, the heads up was fantastic. The final table was fantastic. I mean, a great tournament has had a very, very worthy